Hey, friends. Welcome to the Raising Boys and Girls podcast. I'm Sissy Goff.
And I'm David Thomas, and we're so glad you joined us for this conversation. Let's dive in.
We love every conversation we get to have with our friend Niro Feliciano.
I think we smiled the whole time the interview was happening.
I think we did too. And man, do I feel better about the holidays after having that conversation with her.
And parents, just wait. She is going to offer up some wellness hacks for surviving the holidays that you don't want to miss. So enjoy this conversation with our dear and delightful friend who is also a brilliant psychotherapist, Niro Feliciano.
Niro, we're so happy to have you back. What a gift to get to spend time with you again.
Oh, thank you.
If folks are watching on YouTube, if you're not, we're smiling the entire time this woman is in the room. It just happens when she walks in the room.
It does. You just have become one of our favorite people. Yes.
You guys
and
wouldn't
most
move
trusted
to New York.
voices.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't move to New York. But it is such a treat to always be with you.
Well, you
And I will
too.
tell everyone that they don't make humans like you in New York. So
No.
you should stay here and I'll come and visit.
We like that plan. And we'll come there to visit
I love it.
too. But
We'd
Yes.
love to come there to visit.
I love when you
Yes.
come.
Well, so we're not talking officially about the Enneagram today,
Mm.
but we need to ask a question. just
Okay.
since we know you know it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about what we're going to talk about. But before we get there, will you say what number you are on the Enneagram and a positive way you feel like it impacts your parenting and maybe a growth point in terms of that in parenting?
Okay. First of all, what number do you think I am?
I feel like we've talked about it before.
We have.
And I think you're a 3.
Uh-huh.
Was my
Yes.
guess too.
Yes. I wish I was more like a 1,
Ugh,
and I know that you
no.
are. I could use some of those qualities.
Mm.
David, what number are you? 1. Yeah, that's right.
1.
And you know my husband's a 1 too. So
Yes.
I know you people well.
You do indeed.
We want more of your charm.
Oh, we do.
Oh,
you don't
that is
know
a
how badly we
superpower.
want that.
well, we
Yes.
all have the 2 wing, right? The
True.
helper wing.
Yes.
So a positive, I would say I can think outside of a box pretty well.
Mm,
I would say
Yes.
that's important in parenting
yes.
because you are not the same parent to each kid,
Yes.
right? So not fixed into kind of a way of doing things, but
Mm.
I try and look because I am a creative to see how this child needs whatever it is in the
Yeah.
way that would best serve the child. So I'd say that's
So good.
positive.
And on your feet. I feel like you think on your feet so well anyway, but I think 3s do too.
Yeah.
So out of the box and in the moment is so helpful.
You mean we can fake it a lot? Yes,
No.
we can. But as for the challenge, I'm not as ordered
Mm.
as a 1. So, and I think that would help me just because I do balance so much.
Mm.
My time management is not the best. So, and I get pulled off into different things, especially when it comes to people. right.
Mm.
So I would say that would be an area for growth for me, for sure.
So good.
I know. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of balance, because you do a lot of things,
That's for sure.
you have written a brand new book that we are so excited to talk about. So will you just first say what stirred you to write a book specifically about the holidays?
So the book is called All Is Calm-ish.
Such a great
Love
title.
that title.
Thank you. I fought for that title, by
Good
the way.
for you.
So
yes.
I basically said I can't write the book unless you do this title.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Just
Yay.
because I felt like it described what so many of us are feeling.
Yes.
Right? Things are good, but stress.
Yeah.
Right? Or we love the holidays, but there's always kind of a but
Mm.
for
Mm.
everybody.
Yeah.
So this talk actually came before my first book. This book won't make you happy, the book on contentment.
Wow.
So originally that book came from a talk I did at Advent for about 600 women on
Mm.
finding contentment during the holidays.
Mm.
And the response I got from that talk was overwhelming in that so many people related to wanting to be content, but feeling caught up in how we do holiday now and how do we get back to that place of contentment. So this book actually, technically, the content of the book came before my first book. So it seemed like a natural follow-up
Second.
to that book. Yes.
Yes. Well, will you talk a little bit about how you define contentment during the holiday season? And what are some ways you're personally cultivating it, especially as a mom of 4?
Okay. So I will stand by my definition that I used in the first book.
Yes.
And that is contentment isn't about having everything you want. It's about wanting everything you have. So
Will you say that one more time, Nora?
yes,
So good.
yes. Contentment isn't about having everything you want. It's about wanting everything you have. So with that comes an appreciation for what you have, what is good already. And gratitude is a big piece of that.
Yes.
And that's a tenet of our entire family, partly because I've drilled it into them, every
Good
time.
for
Like,
you.
what are 3 good things?
Yeah.
So, and that's the way I phrase it. So they don't roll their eyes at, what are you grateful for?
Right. Yes.
And now they offer that
Mm.
willingly, partly to make fun of me when we're together, but I think
It's okay.
they appreciate it and
So
they want to
good.
hear what everybody has to say. And some of the answers are funny. So that is something definitely I hold on to during the holidays. And I think about, what do I have now that, especially now having launched a child, my first child, to college,
Yes.
that I'm not going to have forever. And I try and hold on to that and let go of the things that perhaps maybe I've obsessed over in the past when it's come to holidays, but really is not that meaningful to everybody else in the family. And at the end of the day, it takes me away from the things that are meaningful. The time I spend with people, the time and energy I have to engage in conversations. What are the things that take me away from that? So I've learned to separate a little bit, and that's brought me back into a place of contentment.
It's
So
so
good.
wise. I know.
Okay, we often see parents neglect their own wellness during this
Yes.
season because there's so much going on. Are there simple practices or wellness hacks that you recommend for parents and families?
Yeah, it's hard during the holidays,
It
right? And I
is.
think part of it is because all of us run at maximum capacity all year round. There's no mental bandwidth even during the year. And then that all keeps going during the holidays. Plus, we put on everything that we have to do or make happen during the holidays. So it's a lot. There is a writer for the New York Times named Melissa Kirsch. And she said something that I hold on to. She said, anything worth doing is worth doing a little. Which I
That's
love.
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
And especially when it comes to wellness, small things. For example, most of us are dehydrated. Just have a glass of water when you wake up before you're making your coffee or as you're making your coffee.
So good.
Just to start the day like that. Take literally 5 minutes and be still. Hold on to that stillness before you just jump on your phone, which is so hard for so many people, right? Because it's right there. Before you start looking at your text messages or emails, 5 minutes. That's kind of also why the book is broken up into short chapters. The chapters take 5 minutes to read.
It's so good.
Right? So it's something that people can focus on first thing to kind of get some perspective throughout their day and then go on. Little things like that. I mean, when you're waiting around on hold or watching something, do some squats or sit-ups or whatever, some people find exercise that way. And the other thing, I mean, connection, we know, is our greatest predictor of longevity, the quality of our relationships. So I will try during the holidays to schedule a couple walks with friends.
So smart.
I have kind of stopped doing coffee with friends. I'd rather say, hey, let's just go for a walk, because that hits 2 components of wellness, right?
Yes.
And we see it neurochemically too with serotonin and oxytocin.
So wise.
Just little things, right?
2 things that help me when I am in more stressful situations or with more stressful people in the holidays. One is walking. Exactly that. By myself.
Do you
more
walk
than with
away
somebody
from
else.
them, those stressful people? Is that what you mean?
Well, just walking in the neighborhood.
Yeah, okay.
But
Just
walking away from them for sure. But also something I started doing was watching, I think it was just the season I was doing it naturally, but watching Gilmore Girls.
Yes. My girls love that show.
Yes, because it would make me laugh. But also Lorelai had this remarkable ability to diffuse tension with her parents in that show. And so it was so helpful to me. I mean, I literally remember being in the car thinking, okay, what would Lorelai do? She would make a joke, make light of something rather than I just get so intense and
Locked
white-knuckly
in.
and mad. And we talked about on the one episode, if you're a one, go back and listen before the holidays because we all need it conviction-wise, resentfully stomping. We
Oh,
resentfully
yes.
stomp around a lot, and
Yep.
I would do that. And it helps me so much think about having a sense of humor and how can I not take things so intensely. So
That's good.
thank
That's
you.
good
I
tip.
love the self-care.
Yep. Love that.
Okay, you mentioned this, but we love the idea that you talk about of connection over perfection. So important. So thinking about that for kids in a way that shapes their memories of the holidays into adulthood, what are some pointers you would give there?
I think a good place to start for parents is think about what made your holidays memorable growing up.
Oh, yes.
Because we didn't have a lot of, even families who had a lot didn't do what we're doing now. It's gotten a little extreme. For me, I've had to let go of some of the things. Now you're going to know how neurotic I am. I used to bake a lot of cookies, like a lot, lots of different kinds. And, we work a lot during the holidays because it's stressful for people as therapists. So, that was just one small way of cutting down. I'm like, I'm going to do some, but not what I usually do, right?
Smart.
I used to have big holiday parties. And by the way, if you bake lots of cookies, bake them all if it's fine for you and it doesn't create stress. But these were things that created stress for me. And I used to do these big holiday parties. And now I've kind of switched. I like to go to other people's holiday parties, but I'd rather do smaller dinners with people so I can actually talk with them because I felt like, especially being a 3, I will connect with everybody in a room and that's tiring for me. And I wanted some of that energy to be for my family. So I had to just be honest about myself and what I could handle. And that's going to look different for everyone. And I had to see where do I want to make more time? Where can I make more time for my kids? Now this holiday is one of the special times where we're all going to be together because now that my daughter's in college. So I know those times are fleeting. So I want to maximize it. So those were some of the things that I had to do to think about connection over perfection.
Niro, this is so good
I know.
and helpful.
I love the way you are giving people in general permission, but I would argue moms in particular, I think, in what you just said, Niro. And we do a staff Christmas party every year, and we give like a small gift to every member of the staff. And I'm a terrible cook, so I would end up asking my wife if she would bake something that I could give. And I remember the last year we made something homemade, to your cookie story, and she's wrapping all these individual things at 11:30 at night, and she looks exhausted. And I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. And we had some friends who'd opened a little business, and I was like, what if you were to support a local business every year?
Awesome.
Yeah. And so it's like my new tradition. It's like every year I'm going to give the staff a cup of coffee coupon, a free breakfast taco coupon, or something that's like, it was one small shift that made a significant difference that I then not only was giving us permission to get off the hook in that space, but it's like, I love supporting a local business every year. So,
and you're a good husband to recognize that. And you know what I always say? Try it for 1 year.
Yeah.
And if you really feel unfulfilled by letting it go, bring it back the next year and figure out something else. Try it once and see how you feel.
Yes.
So great.
That's so good.
Well, it feels important that as we even talk about the holidays, we acknowledge that this is a hard season for a lot of people. I lost my mom between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So there's a lot that gets stirred every year during that season for our family. And so for people who are struggling with grief or loss, what words of encouragement or practical steps would you want them to hear?
I would say give yourself permission to not do it the way you've always done it. There's a lot of pressure, especially when you have families, to maintain those traditions, and you just don't have the same joy right now in this moment. I do believe that it will come back in different ways, but you have to have time to actually grieve. And it's hard when the whole world is telling you to feel joyful and you don't feel it. So you can do something different. I interviewed a very good friend of mine in the book who told her story about losing her husband, and she has 3 kids. And she said the first year she did it differently. She had a friend come and help her decorate because she didn't have the energy to do it on her own. And that's the other thing. Tell people what you need. And that's hard, and if there are things you want to do, you don't have the energy and motivation to do it. People want to help you. They just don't know what to do. So if you can enlist a friend, that's great. Do it differently. My friend went on a trip one Christmas. She just wanted to get out of the normal surroundings, and it was healthy for her. It was healthy for her kids. And also know that your loved one who's not here wants you to be happy. So whatever that takes for you, they are for it. You can laugh. You can, have a good time. You can make jokes. It does not mean that you're not still holding your grief.
Yes.
And also honoring your pain. But you can do both. You can do both. And that's what they would want for you.
It's such a great reminder. I know. It made me think about, I think music can trigger so much of that too.
A lot.
Yes. And we interviewed a dear friend over the summer who's part of a group, but also does music on her own. Her name's Sandra McCracken.
Yes.
And she has a Christmas album that is so honest and hopeful. And I think it could be a really sweet place for anybody who's grieving to listen. And I kind of usher you into an honest, reflective worship, even in the midst of this.
That's so helpful because those emotions, they do get more intense in these moments, right? When we have memories and traditions and we're so aware of that person not being here. So yeah, you have to take care of yourself, whatever that looks like.
Yes, exactly. Well, you talk about throughout the book writing from a place of a heavy heart. And we would love for you to say more about that. And you talk about choosing joy when it wasn't easy and even that the book itself was a miracle. So will you talk more about what was going on in the book coming from that kind of place?
Yes. And both of you know the story because you've walked me through some of it. But I had a child who was really struggling, my youngest, Carolina, who was struggling with...
amazing.
She is amazing.
We're such fans of Carolina. All your kids.
Yes,
and she's doing really well, thank God. But this book was supposed to come out a year ago. And it didn't because I could not write while I was supporting her. She was not doing well and struggling to the point where it was hard to get her to school for quite a long time because she was dealing with a phobia. So a lot of my time and energy went into supporting her, from home, but also just getting her to the right therapist and doing the work at home to get her better, which was tough. But, as therapists, we know a lot and sometimes too much.
Yes.
So, I've seen kids who've struggled for a really long time and some where it's continued into adulthood. I've also seen a lot that have gotten better, but, sometimes your mind goes to the worst case scenario. So I was fighting that as well as just the time that it took to support her. And none of that stopped for the holidays. And in some ways, it gave me insight into the lives of so many people who struggle this time of year. It doesn't stop for the holidays.
Right.
So it's funny. I've always said, before God allows me to give a message, he makes me live the message. So this was about choosing joy. And I remember it was funny, and I wrote about this in the book. I was going on the Today Show, and the topic was choosing joy. And that morning was fine. I was dressed in this red, cute outfit, and it was sequined, and I was feeling good. And they called me to get mic'd to go up to the set. And right then I got a call on my cell phone. It was my daughter crying. She was having a panic attack. And my amazing husband was home, but he was like, you need to talk to your mama. We FaceTime for a second, and my heart was broken. And I'm here, I'm supposed to go in front of all of America and talk about choosing joy. But, God enables you to do things that are way beyond your ability.
Yes.
And in that moment, I was able to talk to her and then go up there and talk about joy, And that's when I really felt, okay, joy is a choice.
Yeah.
And we don't make that choice alone. If we ask for that help, we'll get it. I received it many times over during that year. And that's why I say this book is a miracle. Because when you're struggling, being creative and writing and creating something from nothing is really difficult.
Yes.
So when I look at it now, I'm like, how did this happen during that year? So that was a little bit of the backstory, but it seemed timely, just giving me more empathy and that lens to write from when I was writing.
Which is exactly what Christmas is about, that juxtaposition and the miracle.
That's right.
In the midst of it. Yeah.
That's right.
So thank you for sharing that.
I'm just so grateful for your transparency. And I think it speaks to just this depth and substance that is within all of your writing, and in particular for this book, because as you said, you were living it right then. You weren't just writing about this topic, you were living all of what you were saying. So thank you for being willing to do that, and how we're all going to benefit from that in reading.
Thank you.
And even building on that, how do you hope faith and practical psychology come together for readers in this book?
Well, I'm preaching to the choir with you two, because you know, but they've always gone together in my mind. And I mean, God is really smart. All of these truths align, whether we're looking at them in science or psychology or faith. And I was really grateful because, as you know, my platform is more secular. And I always want to talk from a faith perspective, and no one lets me. So I'm happy to come here. So, and that was another reason I'm going to write about the holidays, because they're going to let me talk about God. Finally, it's Christmas.
Yes.
You know, we also talk about the Jewish faith. I've interviewed people from that tradition as well. But it has always gone together. And if you even just look at the value of stillness in psychology and how we know it silences our amygdala, and we're able to have kind of a wider, more expansive way of thinking in stillness. That's when the ideas come up. And in our faith tradition, it talks about being still all over the Bible. And there's a reason for that. And it's how we hear from God.
Yes.
All of that is rooted as well in psychology and validates it. So that's one of many different things that I talk about in the book where the faith piece and the psychology align.
I cannot wait to read this book. I'm so excited.
Aw.
Can we get an early copy?
I bet you can. I bet you might have
someone.
one.
So thinking about family dynamics, because I think the apex of family tension, turmoil happens likely around the holidays.
That's right.
So for families who are not living the Hallmark movie, what would you recommend? What encouragement would you give for them?
I mean, do you know families that do live the Hallmark movie? I'm just asking.
Right.
Do you?
No.
And when you really know the family?
No.
No.
I mean, I have to say, when I'm with Henry and Whit these days, I feel a little Hallmarkish.
Yes.
But
okay, so
there's
you
a lot of other things
have
that have
it.
happened. Yes,
Yes.
along the way, but a little, a smidge. And I'm the aunt.
Yes.
It's different.
And that goes to show there are aspects of every family that have a little bit of that, right? That we can find those moments in our family. But I don't think any family is truly exempt from some of the stress and even family dynamics and drama, right? Once you really know the family.
Yeah.
So that's a big piece that we have to deal with. And I talk about it pretty extensively in the book, how to manage that, because it is a very real stressor for people. I think boundaries are really important. And just one example, I attended a benefit just the other day. And you know how when people find out you're a therapist, they're like, okay, just one question, you know, which I'm like, bring it, you know? And she was saying how her relatives come from another state and they expect to stay for 2 weeks. And she entertains them the whole time. And I said, okay. And now she has a kid about to go to college. And we were talking about how that time as a family is really important. And I said, how long, do you like them coming? And she said, I do. I said, for how long? And she goes, in 5 days, I can be really kind.
Yes.
You know, and that's the heart of boundaries. It's, what do we need to do to continue to preserve our kindness and compassion? Right?
Thank you for saying that. That's so good.
It's what it is.
What we're not saying that anymore.
No,
That's
we're
so
not.
Good.
We're not saying that. So we talked. Okay, and it's helpful to give people scripts in these situations. I said, tell them we love when you come. Our kids love when you come. And for that holiday, we have made some plans on these dates, but we'd love for you to come from, Friday to Wednesday. Come during that time. We're going to have such a great time. And it's uncomfortable, right? And depending on how it's received, it can be more uncomfortable.
Right.
But we have to separate. That's a problem for that person, not for you, right?
Yes.
So boundaries enable us to stay kind. And the one quick thing I'd say, because there is this tradition now to cut people off very easily, and that action is applauded, and we're seeing it a lot on social media. Try everything possible to preserve that relationship before you have to take that step. because we're losing really valuable things for a gain that is not as valuable. So I would say really try before that. And I talk about how in the book as well.
Thank you for saying that. We feel so strongly about that too. Thank you.
And this wisdom, dear folks, is exactly why we invited this friend to come speak at our first annual conference in Nashville. You were getting such a taste of it. And why we continue to want you to come back and be on the podcast over and over.
Thank you.
How would you say writing this book has changed your holiday traditions, things you've added or let go of?
I have really tried, and maybe this is a function of getting older and recognizing time is fleeting, to work on being more present and little things that can make a difference. And when I try and create, and I talk about this in the book, a ritual for myself as often as I can. And it really takes like 5 to 10 minutes. It's usually once everyone's out of the house or I have a moment by myself. Maybe it's in my office. I light a candle. I sit there with some sort of meditation, whether it's a scripture or something that I've been thinking about. For me, it involves prayer. But that short moment is something that I look forward to every day throughout the holidays. That being present for me involves, and this can be a wellness hack too. Have you heard of putting your phone on grayscale?
Yes.
Yeah, that is huge. And I've even tested it with a bunch of high school interns and thinking that they'd give me a lot of pushback. And they were like, we're able to get so much more done. They kept their phone on grayscale longer than they needed to. And they said they're going to go back to it when they have important things to do. But that's a little wellness hack, and you can Google how to do it. That helps to preserve our focus. So that as well has helped me to enjoy the holiday a little bit more. And then to just, before it starts, pick kind of 3 things I know that are going to occur and really focus on being present in those moments, because it is hard to be present for everything. We're such multitaskers, and we have to be during the holidays on some level. But if I say, okay, that movie night, no phones and no distractions, and I'm going to be all in for that moment or that holiday concert or that dinner that we're going to have. So at least I know when those moments are coming up, and I've been able to enjoy them more fully.
This is so helpful.
Wow.
We're sitting here and it's September when we're recording because
Right.
you're in town for the conference. I'm going to listen to this again in October,
Same.
November, and December just to remember
Yes.
these things. This is so helpful, Niro.
You know what else? Folks, we don't like to should you, but we're going to do it right now for just a minute, okay? You should right now pre-order several copies or order if it's available, depending on when this comes out, and give to your kids' teachers. I was thinking, what a great teacher gift that would be.
That's a great
for
idea.
Christmas. Yes.
Yes. And friends and siblings. I could keep on going, but you want a lot of copies is
And it'd
what
be
you want.
fun and funny to give out Christmas morning to your whole family as you're in the
Wouldn't it?
midst of the calm-ish.
Ish.
Be a cute little chuckle y'all could have together. I love this.
So don't get
I
one
should
copy.
make T-shirts that say
Yes.
calm-ish.
That's a
I mean,
great
just for
idea.
my family, because they need the reminder. Well, the book is written in 31 short chapters. So it's supposed to take you through the holiday
Wow.
and give you some perspective from before Thanksgiving through New Year.
Okay.
So just short little readings.
So for anyone who's not following you yet, they are all going to want to now. So
Aw.
where can folks follow along, find you? I mean, I would imagine they can get the book wherever books are sold.
They can.
Yeah.
And on my Instagram, Niro Feliciano, or on my website, nirofeliciano.com. But a lot of the things that I've talked about and written about are on the today.com website. So you can put my name in the search and all my stuff will come up there as well. So I'm
You're
there too.
amazing.
Yes. Okay, we end every episode with something fun and food related.
Uh-huh.
Thinking about the holidays, what's your favorite food to make or to our conversation order during the Christmas season? And if it's a prepared meal, can we have the recipe for the show notes?
Or it
Yes.
could be your cookies.
I can give you 2 recipes. My
Okay.
cookies are standard, like everybody makes, you know. But so in a past life, before I had kids or before my kids doubled in quantity, I used to be a very good baker. So I make a dark chocolate mousse cake every Christmas, and I put crushed candy cane on the top. And it has like an Oreo crust. It's really good. Next time you guys come to New York, I'm going to make it for you. It's my kid's favorite.
Please.
That is a little complicated, but I will give you that recipe for the
love it.
advanced level bakers.
Yes.
But something everybody can make is a tradition in our house because my husband Ed is Puerto Rican, and it's called coquito, which is a Puerto Rican eggnog. You can make it with rum or without rum. It has kind of a coconut type base to it, but it's so good. And that's very Christmas in Puerto Rico. So we make that every year.
That's fun.
Which is fun to celebrate that culture with our family as well. So we can give you that recipe too.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas.
All of it.
It just is a delight to be with you. You're such a gift to
Thank
us,
you
Niro.
for having me. And I so love the two of you and our friendship. So grateful for both of you.
Same, friend.
Niro Feliciano is a psychotherapist, best-selling author, and national media commentator. She holds a master's degree from Columbia University and has been in private practice for 20 years. She is the author of the Today.com column, Is This Normal? And you can often see her on the Today Show and NBC News Now. Niro has also been interviewed in national publications such as the New York Times, Parents.com, Oprah Daily, In Style, Real Simple Magazine, and more, sharing tips and strategies around mental health and parenting. She is the author of This Book Won't Make You Happy, 8 Keys to Finding True Contentment. Her second book, All Is Calm-ish, will be released for holiday 2025. A first-generation Sri Lankan American, Niro lives with her husband Ed and 4 kids in Connecticut. David, what a team we have that we get to call friends who help make this podcast possible. Chris Starrett, our engineer.
Our management team at KCH.
And we are thrilled to be a part of the That Sounds Fun network.
Our music was created by the insanely talented Dave Haywood of Lady A.
And if this podcast felt helpful to you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, all the things.
We are grateful for you and cheering you on always.